Exiteers, thanks again for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, my name is Riley and I'm a former Jehovah's Witness. So I just want to make a really super quick video. This is going to have very minimal editing and I'm not using my best camera. So apologies if it's not up to my usual standard, but I just want to speak about something really quickly. So I've mentioned before on my channel that when I was waking up there were certain XJW YouTube channels that were my favorites to watch, and one of those was called The Irregular Pioneer. I've since gotten to know the host of that channel a little bit. He's a great guy by the name of Matt. We follow each other on social media, and one of his videos was instrumental in waking me up, and I'm not exaggerating by saying that. It really had a profound effect on me, and I've mentioned it quite a lot since then. And it was a video that he did about funerals, about witness funerals. And if I remember rightly, he had just come back from a non-witness funeral when he recorded this video, and he was so the experience impacted on him so much that he just felt that he had to do a video about it straight away. And he highlighted that witness funerals are more or less just an advertisement for the organization. Practically the whole funeral service is basically telling people that are there how great it is to be a witness, and how if they want to see their deceased loved one again, the way to do that is to be a witness. And very little time and effort is given to actually remembering the deceased. And when he said this, when I watched that video, it was like a light bulb went off in my head, because I'd given 2 funeral talks as a witness. They weren't for witnesses, they were for non-witnesses but who had witness family. And they weren't given in the Kingdom Hall because you have to be appointed to do that. And I was never appointed. I was never an elder or a ministerial servant. So I just done them as a relative, of the deceased who wasn't a witness. But I did them according to witness guidelines. So when I was preparing the funeral talk, I looked up the guidelines for giving funeral talks in witness publications. And what Matt said was absolutely true. Absolutely true. In the whole article, a tiny, tiny portion of it is given to what you should say about the deceased. The rest is all about basically advertising the organization. So witness funerals are basically a tool of, they're a recruitment tool. They're a tool to recruit more people into the witness organization. And I distinctly remember Matt saying in that video, this is an organization that uses people, and that extends beyond your natural life. Even when you are dead, the organization continues to use you. They even use your death. And that video had such a profound impact on me. It really did. The reason why I'm making this video this morning is because I've just come back from a non-witness funeral. Sadly, a good friend of mine lost her mum recently, and the funeral service was this morning, and I watched it. I watched a stream of it over the internet, and it was lovely. It was lovely. The deceased's grandkids gave a really beautiful eulogy for her, and it was all about remembering what a good person she was. And isn't that what funerals are supposed to be about? Isn't it supposed to be about remembering the person who's died? I'm sorry, I'm having eye problems today. I just woke up this morning and I just feel like I've got I don't know, something under my eyelid. Yeah, isn't that what funerals should be about? Remembering your loved one. And this is the thing that gets me about this organization, is that everything they do, think, preach and teach is so extreme. It's so black and white and so dichotomous. Everything has to be all the way one thing or all the way the other. There's no there's no moderation. There's no balance in anything. Everything is one extreme to the next. So if you have a funeral and you take time, an appropriate amount of time, to remember the deceased and speak about what a good person they were in their own right, not just what a good servant of the organization they were, what a good person they were in their own right. They view that as being some form of idolatry or creature worship, I think the phrase is in the publications. I remember specifically in the funeral guidelines, it says, do not eulogize the deceased. But you're supposed to speak about what a loyal servant of Jehovah they were. And when they say loyal servant of Jehovah, what they really mean is a loyal servant of the organization. Because as we know, those terms are interchangeable in Jehovah's Witness literature. What is wrong with speaking about a person and saying how good they were and how they impacted other people's lives in a positive way? What is wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But again, the extreme view, that's creature worship, or that's idolatry. And it's just terrible. At a time when people are grieving, it's terrible. It's really bad. This was the first non-witness funeral that I've been to since waking up. And it's had on me as profound an experience as the funeral that Matt attended when he made his video. And that video had such a positive contribution on my waking up process. I just felt compelled to do one of my own. Hopefully this has a profound experience on someone else. And another thing as well, when they said the prayer and sang the hymns, I took part and it didn't feel wrong. I stood up for the prayer, I bowed my head, I closed my eyes, I even said amen. Now, I've spoken about what my religious beliefs or spirit, whatever you want to call them, I've spoken before about what they are now. But you know what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. At a time like this, what matters is supporting those who are grieving. And it felt so liberating to be able to do that regardless of belief, non-belief, or differences in belief. The important thing is people. People are important. Showing love, compassion, care, concern, consideration, and comfort to people is important. We are all important to each other. And that should be the main thing. Not how much time and effort you spend slaving for an organization that doesn't care about you. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.